Let's take a look at the paragraph on your make connections. Let me read it for you. Networking really does make a difference. Not only will having broad connections help you find out about jobs, sometimes even before they are posted, but mentioning someone who works at the company in your cover letter strengthens your application. If the notion of networking or making small talk makes you feel a bit queasy and nervous, it can be helpful to remember that nearly every attendee at a conference is eager to meet new people. Plus, it's easy to start a conversation with basic questions like, "What's your favorite presentation so far?" and "What do you think of blah 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 so far?" Use your elevator pitch in conversation with your new acquaintances. If you have a meaningful or extended conversation, exchange business cards or find the person's profile on LinkedIn and connect. So, the topic for this paragraph is, of course, networking. To network means to meet useful people. So, the first thing people always complain about business conferences is some people find socializing with strangers queasy or it makes them nervous. So what does queasy means? Queasy means feeling worried, unhappy, or uncertain about something. To help you feel more comfortable, it might be helpful to know that everyone in the conference is here for the same reason, to meet new people. So with this mindset, you might feel that you are not alone. And then the second tip is to use your elevator pitch. I will explain what that is later. If you bump into someone interesting and you had an enjoyable conversation with them, then be sure to exchange contact information. Follow each other on social media, such as Instagram, Twitter, or LinkedIn. Okay, so the first tip I would like to share here is about networking for introverts. So introverts are people who are shy, and the opposite of introverts is called extroverts. But if you are both, then you are an ambivert. So the first tip I can share with introverts to help them network better is number one, take networking on time. So for many, it's the in-person quality of networking events that can be particularly challenging. The idea of having to go up to strangers can be enough to make hands sweat and stomachs rows. Fortunately, we live in the digital age. We can do that online. Take your networking to the web, establish an active Twitter presence, and interact with people in your field. Bulk up your LinkedIn profile and activity. Virtual networking is a terrific way to grow your networking without going to an event. The second tip is network one-on-one. Not all networking needs to be done at a big event or meetup. While group conversation can be a struggle for introverts, a one-on-one conversation can give them an opportunity to show off keen listening skills and make a solid connections. Suggest coffee dates and other one-on-one interactions and ask friends and colleagues to set you up on chats with people outside of your immediate network. The third one is bring a friend. Headed to a big gathering of strangers, see if you can bring a friend, co-workers, or even an acquaintance alone. There's just something about knowing at least one person at an event that can make it less nerve-wracking. And finally, be prepared. As you prepare for a networking event, think of it as if you are going into a battle. Your weapons are small talk and chit-chat. If there is a list of the people at the networking event available beforehand, make a list of the ones you really like to chat with. and you can even figure out some talking points first. And finally, smile. It's one thing to be the quiet person at an event, or even to be off in the corner answering emails on your phone. It's another to look glum, uncomfortable, or so unsmiling that you seem angry. Try to look engaged with the event. Present yourself outwardly as being open and eager to meet new people, even if you feel differently inside. And one more, the most important one: be yourself. Not the center of attention, that's okay. Don't pretend to be. That would ring false. You can be reserved, which means you can be shy, and take advantage of your listening skills. You don't have to be the center of attention if that's not a role that you are comfortable with. After all, extroverts need an audience for their stories. Perhaps the most important tip of them all is to remember that you are not the only shy person in any situation. Many people are introverts. In fact, one additional way to succeed at networking events may be to locate a fellow introverts so that both of you can be yourselves. The next one is about creating an elevator pitch. So what's an elevator pitch? An elevator pitch is a quick summary of your background and experience. The reason it's called an elevator pitch is that it should be short enough to present during a brief elevator ride. So what are the tips to follow? First, be brief. Restrict the speech to 30 to 60 seconds. Don't need to include your entire work history and career goals. Your pitch should be a short recap of who you are and what you do. The second one is be persuasive. You need to make people believe what you are saying. Even though it's a short pitch, your elevator speech should be compelling enough to spark the listener's interest in your idea, organization, or background. Third, share your skills. Your elevator pitch should explain who you are and what qualifications and skills you have. Try to focus on assets that add value in many situations. This is your chance to brag a bit. Avoid sounding boastful. Don't sound too self-centered, too proud, but do share what you bring to the table. And be positive and flexible. You often aren't interviewing for a specific position when you deliver your pitch, so you want to appear open-minded and flexible. Don't lead with the stuff you'd rather not be doing. This is your chance to make a great first impression with a potential employer. Don't waste it. And know your audience and speak to them. In some cases, using jargon, meaning professional terms, can be a powerful move. It demonstrates your industry knowledge. But be wary of using jargon. You need to be careful of using jargon during an elevator pitch, particularly if you are speaking to recruiters who may find the terms unfamiliar and off-putting. Keep it simple and focus. Okay, so these are the tips to creating an elevator pitch. And here I include 3 examples of an elevator pitch. You can have a look yourself, and you can even use them as templates to help you come up with your own elevator pitch. So that's it for this week's lecture.